I still remember that day like it was yesterday, the kind of day where everything feels like it's crumbling right in front of yummy boy Ethan, just 16, slumping in his chair at Brookside Prep, that fancy school where all the rich kids strut around like they own the world, and he's staring at another big red F on his calculus test, his hands shaking because Ms. Sinclair, with her sharp suit and even sharper tongue, slams it down and says, "Ethan, honey, maybe this isn't your place. Stick to something simpler, like the public school down the road." It hit him hard. You could see it in his eyes, the way he shrank. One of the few kids like him there, from our side of town, fighting for a scholarship spot, and all those whispers from the other students. He's just here on charity, doesn't belong. Echoing like knives, man. It broke my heart when he told me, but what really boiled my blood was the principal, Mr. Hargrove, calling me in, me rushing from my night shift mopping those same shiny halls, still in my uniform smelling like bleach, and him looking down his nose, saying, "Mrs. Jenkins, your son's dragging the class down. We gave him a chance, but aptitude isn't something you can fake." I sat there, calluses on my hands from years of scrubbing, fighting back the fire inside, because Hargrove wasn't just doubting Anna was doubting me. The single mom who busted her back 3 jobs to keep him in that school after his dad passed from that long fight with heart disease. The bills piling up like mountains, forcing me to walk away from everything I built. But oh, the turnaround started brewing right then, in that stuffy office with its plaques and polished desk, when I looked him square in the eye and said, "I can help him, you think, because I clean your floors I don't know a thing about limits and derivatives?" He laughed, actually laughed, that condescending chuckle like I was some joke. "With all due respect, Laura, we're talking real math here, not counting mop buckets." And I felt that old spark ignite, the one I'd buried deep after quitting my professorship at State U, where I'd been Dr. Laura Hayes, the whiz with a PhD from Yale, publishing on adaptive learning theories. But life with its cruel twists had me reallocating grant money to save my husband's life. Nothing stolen, all repaid. But the whispers ruined me, left me unhireable in academia. So I hid, took the janitor gig for the employee discount. Nights free to raise Ethan without him knowing his mom was once a star, now reduced to invisibility. But enough hiding. I told Ethan the truth that night, pulling out the dusty box with my diploma and papers, his eyes widening as he read. "You? A math genius?" And yeah, it hurt seeing his shock. But we got to work, me breaking down those equations not like Sinclair's rigid lectures, but with drawings, stories, connecting to how his brain wired differently, visual and relational, not that linear grind that left him lost. Weeks flew by, Ethan's grades shot up, confidence blooming. But then the backlash hit like a storm, Sinclair pulling him aside after a perfect test, her voice dripping acid. "How'd you pull this off, kid? Spill it, or I'll have you expelled for cheating." And Ethan, voice cracking, "I earned it, with help." But she dragged us to Hargrove's office again, Dr. Ellis from the board watching neutral, and Sinclair sneering. "His mom's the tutor? The cleaner? Please, this reeks of fraud." That's when I stood, heart pounding but steady, grabbed the marker, and said, "Fine, test me, give me your toughest problem." And as she scribbled this beast of a vector calculus nightmare, I solved it 3 ways, pointing out her sign error with a calm "See." Even Harvard grads slip sometimes, her face draining white, Hargrove stammering, "Who are you really?" And me revealing it all, the papers, the past, the pain, watching their world tilt as Dr. Ellis whispered, "My God, your work on cognitive methods legendary." From there, it snowballed in the best way. Hargrove, hit by guilt over his own grandson flunking college math the same rigid way, begged me to tutor the kid, and I did, but on terms. Implement my program school-wide, adaptive teaching for every mind. No more one-size-fits-all that crushes kids like Ethan. The board meeting was electric, testimonies pouring in, Ethan standing tall. "My mom's not just smart, she sees us," Sinclair admitting, choked up. "I was the barrier, not them." Even Hargrove's grandson, now acing exams, saying, "She saved me from quitting." They voted yes, my methods spreading district-wide, me directing from an office instead of a mop cart. But I kept that uniform framed, a reminder that brilliance hides in plain sight, overlooked by pride and prejudice. Yet here's the thing that still nags: how many more like me are out there, silenced by systems that value pedigrees over people? And is real change possible when old biases die hard? What do you think? Have you seen hidden talents dismissed in your world, or educators failing kids through stubborn methods? Drop a comment, share your story, hit like if this resonates, and subscribe for more real talk tales that challenge the status quo. Let's spark that conversation together.